isn't it?
There we go.
How do you change the mining fee? Ah, you fucking kidding me. USD. I guess.
We're on Facebook right now, so now I gotta call Kenny. Their hangout name. There we go. Damn it. Come on.
Of course, the guy, the Bitcoin pizza guy, is from Florida.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Wise little hand yips.
Yeah, we're pretty innovative. Risk takers, you know?
Yeah.
The risk-taking state. It's our state motto. But it's in Spanish.
Hold on.
I'm not seeing your...
Okay, man. This is technically a challenge. Come on. Load. Go 157. Okay, that's fine. Oops. Check. Can you go on our Facebook feed and see if you can...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we don't need to see us. We need to see...
I can see it. I see crypto people.
Give us a moment, guys. We're figuring it out. Trying to get Kenny on. Mm-hmm. 33 seconds. Yeah, right.
What do you mean, yeah, right?
Oh, where'd that go?
Oh, fuck. Ooh.
This is the Captain Crypto Show, navigating the treacherous seas of cryptocurrency to help you arrive at port safely and secure your loot. Here's your host, Kylan Hurt.
All right, guys, give us a moment. We are trying to get Kenny Bosak on the line here.
Kenny.
Hey, there he is.
Kenny.
Look at that, dude. We pulled it off. Oh, my God. Ladies and gents, welcome back to the Captain Crypto Show. This is our first time where we're doing a video call, and we actually got a special guest on the line. I'm joined by Maverick here. Obviously, it's me, Kylan, a.k.a. Captain Crypto. And as you can see on the video, we got Mr. Kenny Bosak. How's it going, Kenny?
Goes well. I'm just recovering from my usual consensus or crypto conference cold I get every time I go to a conference. I get sick. I shake too many hands.
You know
man.
why, Ken? It's because you're allergic to scammers.
Oh, they're everywhere. I just break out in curse words and obscenities.
Yeah, let's slow down here real quick. So we'll get to that in a moment. So first of all, how would you? Okay, if I had to explain who Kenny Bosak is, from what I know, you go to all the conferences. You are a cryptocurrency personality and blogger. Do you think that is a pretty accurate description?
I like to just tell people I'm an enthusiast and I am the end user. You know, I don't need to know how a microwave works to know that it makes my soup faster than the oven, the conventional oven. So I know how to utilize technology to make my life better. So I'm the end user. I'm a full-on enthusiast. I'm actually all in on crypto. So I'm just trying to live the lifestyle.
Yeah, you definitely are all in. And I must say, when I go to any of the conferences, you're always there. And you're very hard to miss with that sort of, with the beard and everything. And you're very outgoing. You're becoming a bit of a staple of the cryptocurrency community.
I'm just trying to have fun, man, and meet people and talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin accessories. And it's led me to a lot of friendships and friendships that's turned into almost like being part of a family. It's been great going to these conferences, and I almost pretty much never buy a ticket. I just show up to the venue, mingle in the lobby, and somehow I walk my way in and have a good time.
Yeah, you're a little mischievous at times.
and I would like to add, obviously with the shirt on, a fashion icon.
There you go. That is a beautiful shirt. Everyone.
Yeah, man, consensus. I probably opened about 50 Edge wallets with Tiffany Hayden. We were hanging out with Kevin Crypto, my buddy from Canada. We were at Times Square in New York City, and we were opening Edge wallets, giving away crypto. It was a really good time.
Yeah, I saw that you're using a lot of Dash, and man, on Twitter, it's like every 10 minutes, Kenny is spreading the wealth. More Dash here, more crypto there, and you're usually using Edge. So I must say, as Brett and I are both employees of Edge, we would like to say thank you and show our gratitude toward you.
Really, thank you for the product. Like every time I tell Paul's always like, thank you so much. I'm like, bro, like, thank you. It wouldn't be like mass adoption wouldn't happen without products like Edge. Straight up. Like, I'm not paid by Edge. I just use it. And I think it's a way to get mass adoption, because the reason I actually send Dash, a lot of people are like, well, what about Bitcoin? Well, I'm like, hey, check it out. There's a built-in exchange. Let me show you how to take some Dash and turn it into Bitcoin. And their eyes just blow up. And I'm like, yep. And you never lost access to your funds. You always had the private keys. And they really get it. Username, password. It's really easy to back up. The 2FA, the email recovery. It's just very traditional. And I feel like it's that Venmo or that PayPal into this industry that's really clicking with the traditional mindset of people.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to make something that is usable. So usability is definitely one of those big things that we're focusing on, because the community and the technology out there right now is very difficult to use. So we're trying to simplify it, because if we want as many users as possible, you have to give them some sort of familiar experience. So that's definitely what we're trying to do. So let's get to consensus. Brett here also went to consensus. So did our CEO, Paul, at Edge. And I didn't go, but I was paying attention to a lot of things that happened. So let's start off with a little bit of the general vibes, because on Reddit, I was seeing some people post that, oh my God, like Consensus 2018 was just terrible. So I'm curious, Kenny, you and Brett, what was your guys' experience like at Consensus last week?
I mean, I never went to a consensus before, so I don't really have anything to base it off of, but I've been to other conferences, and it was a different vibe for sure. It was definitely an elitist situation. The tickets were priced in a way that only a certain type of people showed up. And that really kept the conversation very narrow. People were really talking about what's the next Bitcoin, what's the next ICO. And I'm laughing because I'm like, you're in the US. That second question shouldn't even be a question for you right now. Nobody's registered with the SEC. So why are you looking into the next ICO? But they really didn't get what they were talking about. It was really funny to see a lot of those rented Lambos. I definitely saw NPR dig into all those guys about the rented Lamborghinis.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing, but I guess sometimes these conferences attract that sort of
Exactly.
that sort
well,
of
when you set the ticket at $2,000, $3,000, you literally set the stage for nothing but that type of flash, of show off. It's no one's talking about the tech. They're all talking about the dollar sign. And Bitcoin's tech doesn't care about its price. The tech will keep getting better. Bitcoin's cheaper today than it was in December. If you think about it, it's better tech now, and it's always going to be something that's undervalued, in my opinion. So I'm not too worried about it. But the people that were at these conferences, they had like the $5,000 suits on, $3,000 consensus tickets, but they had $0 in crypto. And that's what it always came down to. I'm talking to these guys and I'm like, blah, blah, blah. So what did you grab? And they're like, I'm looking for the next Bitcoin. I didn't really get in yet. And I'm like, bro, your suit costs more than my portfolio. How do you not have any crypto? And those were the people that were showing up.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. And a lot of people, some people online were describing it as like there were kind of like a lot of statist apologists. Like, oh, how do we change Bitcoin to make sure that it complies with all these legal rules? Which I think some of us who've been in it for a long time, like you, me, and Brett, we're kind of thinking that's kind of backwards. Like that's not what we are aiming for. So it's kind of a weird vibe. But I guess when you're in New York, you're close to the New York Stock Exchange and all that. So you get those sort of pro-banker types, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of talk about how can we conform Bitcoin to suit the traditional institutions. And I feel like they wasted a lot of money and a lot of time because they should have been talking about how can the traditional institutional sector conform to the new blockchain industries. And that really was, like you said, the backwards conversation. I feel like a lot of people could have just learned by buying crypto rather than buying a ticket to consensus. I tried opening up some wallets with people that were there, like, security employees, some of the people that were just, like in suits that just didn't have any Bitcoin. I'm like, I can't believe you're of this wealth and you're renting a Lambo and you're coming to this consensus and you don't have any crypto. So like here, like, let me just show you, like if you were in China and you opened an Edge wallet, I could send you $9 million for about $1. Do you get it? and they're just like trying to figure out how can I make more fiat? Like that was really like this, the vibe was how do we just get in so we can make more fiat in the end? And it didn't make much sense for me. It was like a horse and buggy consensus and talking about how can we get our horses under the hood of this really pretty Ferrari shell. It was so counterproductive. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, in my opinion.
Right. So obviously, one of the big things that caught a lot of attention, and Kenny, I will warn you, we are going live, so be picky with the words that you use.
Don't say fuck.
So with there was a video that you tweeted out where you had identified someone who it sounds like the community, or at least plenty of people in the community, think that this guy is a scammer. His name's Sean Kirks or something like that. Yeah. And essentially it was live and he was right there and you called him out as a scammer and you used maybe a little bit of abusive language, but there were some people in the community who said, oh, wow, this is great. He called someone out. That's what we need to hold these people accountable. Other people were saying, this sort of language is not what we need. You're boisterous at this consensus event. And then, of course, some people, somehow this turned in partially to like a Bitcoin Core versus Bitcoin Cash thing where I think it was Roger Ver is obviously a Bitcoin Cash guy. So he starts getting mad at you because you didn't pay to get in. So I was wondering, what was this whole thing like for you? Let's hear your side of the story.
So yeah, that guy, Sean, I actually talked to him previously. I interviewed him about this project he was doing an ICO for. And in the interview, we were talking about the product. The product was supposed to be, this website that meets like YouTube, Reddit, stuff like that, Steam it all built in. And it sounded really good at the time because YouTube demonetized my channel. So I was like listening. We were doing the interview. And I actually went to their ICO launch party. And the product really never launched. And their ICO did. So I actually left a day early, got home, and was like, yo, that guy's a scammer. Like, everybody run. And he did. He actually ended up scamming. I think the ICO was at like $1. And there was different tiers. The last tier, it was like $5 a coin. I don't even know if it's like a penny right now on whatever exchange it may even be listed on. One of the exchanges actually said since that video that they delisted the coin clout. So yeah, when I was making my video walking around, I was just walking and I didn't even notice him at the time until he was like right there when I said what I said. I was like, oh, this guy's a scammer. Hold on, stop the show. Everybody needs to know. And yeah, I definitely did get out of hand with my language, and I was a little embarrassed for sure. I definitely stooped to his level after he kept calling me names and just not answering any of the questions. Like, what happened to the money? What happened to the project? What happened to just what happened? And he just kept calling me names. So I definitely got a little upset, called him a name back. And that's when security came over and was like, where's your ticket? And I was just like, I'm leaving anyway. Bye. Yeah. And yeah, so it was crazy that, you know, and nobody really cared to stop or ask questions. It was just like, I hope he's not talking about me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think here. It's good to be calling someone out. Obviously, when you're doing things live in the moment, you don't always have the time to choose your words either. So I can see how that's a little bit of a challenge. But honestly, I am happy that you are calling people out, because I think that needs to happen more often. But obviously, whenever you call someone out as a scammer, it's not going to go over that well, right? It's not always going to be super simple.
I actually...
Roger got really mad at me because I asked the Bitcoin.com booth about the lawsuit and misrepresenting Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin as BCH and Bitcoin Core as BTC. And some people were sending crypto to the wrong addresses. And apparently because I asked the only people that were at the booth, which happened to all be female, and nobody knew the answer to, Roger kind of made me out to be like some kind of sexual harassing monster. And I asked one question. Camera wasn't like TMZ in anybody's face. I was just like, what's up with the lawsuit and misrepresenting Bitcoin as BCH, confusing people and losing money? And they were just like, no comment. And I said, cool, bye. Yeah, and that was it. I walked away. It wasn't any big deal, but they're definitely making it out to be a lot bigger of a deal. Yeah. I just wish they would have answered my question. Roger wrote a Reddit about everything, but still didn't answer the question. Sterling from Bitcoin.com tweeted me and unfollowed me and blocked me and still didn't answer the question. So I would just like to get an official statement. Like, what do you guys feel about all the people that lost money sending it to the wrong address because your website said this wallet was for this currency when it's technically not? That's all.
That's bull. I really don't like what Bitcoin.com does, because it's.
I didn't call BCH a scam.
Yeah,
I called Bitcoin.com
I have no problem with Bitcoin Cash forking. Right, that's all within the spirit of this stuff. I have no problem with them trying to optimize on-chain scaling. But,
no monopolies, dude. It's all about massive options. Bitcoin Cash, if it succeeds, dude, I don't care who kills fiat. Somebody just do the job.
Yeah. And what Bitcoin.com does is it's just sneaky for no reason, right? Bitcoin Cash can.
That's what it really comes down to.
It's sneaky for no reason. I
mean, dude, at Consensus, you were there, right, Maverick?
I was there. All
right. So did you see any booth talking about BTC Bitcoin, where I can go and learn about Bitcoin and SegWit and potential Lightning and atomic swaps? Was there anywhere
Kenny,
in Consensus to learn about Bitcoin BTC?
This is actually a good point to bring up, and shows how Bitcoin is still contrarian, right? People think they've missed the boat in some way, and actually it's people still don't get it. And all these crypto conferences are very Bitcoin light now. People are always trying to move away from it or find the next best thing, and Bitcoin is still there. It has the most hashing power. It has the most time running. It has the most developers, right? And it's still at these big crypto conferences, almost one of the least talked about projects or hyped projects.
It's a shame, man. It's swept under the rug because it doesn't have a marketing team. That's what it really comes down to. Bitcoin doesn't have built-in marketing. If it did, like Dash, I think Bitcoin would already be a universal currency.
I think short-term, it hurts a little bit, but long-term, I think that is an advantage or a feature.
Well, that's true decentralization, right? Exactly. I mean, BCH obviously has a lot of money, centralized money backing it, that's really promoting censorship around Bitcoin. It's kind of against everything crypto stands for if you think about the marketing aspect of it and the demonization of its counterpart. And what Bitcoin Cash did with the Bcash protocol with Purse.io and their argument of saying stop calling Bitcoin Cash Bcash because it's not, and them calling Bitcoin Core when it's the exact same comparison. Like it's like talking to a 5-year-old that's a billionaire, and I don't understand how to communicate to this man.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Donald Trump, right? He's president,
Right.
acts like a 5-year-old, right?
That's
I guess
exactly
it's
what
pretty.
it is.
It's
Like,
pretty
yo,
effective. It's pretty,
Roger Veer just got tiny hands. That's what it really comes down to.
Yeah, I think at Edge, at least, we have a pretty good mix of people who like Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash. And it is one of those things where neither side's really perfect. So I guess you're right. In the end, we'll see who wins out. The one big knock, and you're right, and we brought this up a couple of weeks ago, that sometimes Roger Ver and the Bitcoin.com stuff, like they're essentially purposely misrepresenting things, like purposely trying to confuse. Like you said, it's sneaky, and it's like, it's just got that kind of dirty feeling to it.
Because I think Roger is a really good
He's all
brander
in.
and knows
He's all
he knows
in.
how important branding is,
Yeah.
and there's some ego in it, and he has some pretty good arguments when you kind of strip away a lot of the emotional and pettiness, right?
Well,
And
he's
that's
obviously financially biased, right? I mean, he is all in
yeah,
on Bitcoin Cash. So there's a financial gain for him to
100%.
say that
Which
this
is-
one thing isn't what it is, and this
Yeah.
one thing is what it isn't, and to use his platform on CNBC and things like that, it's just irresponsible. And maybe one day we could hold platforms like CNBC responsible for reiterating stuff like that. And
I definitely think things like CNBC will not be the go-to source for financial news in the
Fast
next
money.
in the
you
next
would have thought
decade
that
or
would have
so.
stopped when they told you to buy Ripple at 350 and sell it at 80 cents, but it didn't stop. People still tune in.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is Jamie Dimon? What is Bill Gates? What is Mark Zuckerberg think of
God.
Bitcoin?
Who
Like,
fuck
really, who
cares?
cares?
Yeah,
What does
exactly.
Bitcoin think of them? Doesn't
Nothing.
matter.
It doesn't think of them.
Those are the worst. I'm trying to think. So Consensus is put on by CoinDesk.
CoinDesk.
Mhm.
Yes.
CoinDesk. So they're one of the worst. What's the term
Yeah,
I'm
they
looking
are.
for? They're one of the worst with the news because, like you said, it's like, oh, this is what this banker says. This is what that banker says. Like, dude, what? This is not news. Like, hey, this is what Kylan's grandpa thinks. Like, who cares? You know, it doesn't. Sorry, grandpa. Nothing against you.
We love you.
So I'm curious then. So I was listening into something today where someone was talking about an after party at Consensus, and it was. I don't know if you were at it, Kenny. Brett was not, but it was. I guess it was like an erotic show. Did you hear anything about that at all?
I did, but I didn't go to that one, and now I'm kind of regretting it. It was right
He
down
was
the
at
street
another
from
one.
Consensus, actually.
I was at church.
I did hear about it after the Magical Crypto Friends live stream thing that we were doing
Right.
at Consensus, and on the way out, everybody was kind of talking about it. But I already had plans to go to the high bar and
Yeah.
hang out, and
So
I mean-
I was hearing about it today, and it sounded like it was kind of raunchy. I don't know if that'd be the right word. Kind of grimy. Which I don't know, man. In cryptocurrency, you get a bunch of guys, kind of nerdy.
Time, money.
Yeah,
Yeah, way too much
neckbeards.
time, money, neck beards. They want to. Yeah.
So I mean, I guess like at Bitcoin Miami, they had that party that was
Club 11, that was
yeah, at
nice.
Club
I was
11.
there.
Yeah, I was there too. It was kind of a sausage fest, so we didn't stay there for very long. But
I actually paid girls in crypto that night via the Edge wallet.
Should
I
I
think about
even-
8
should I-
girls.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Should I even ask you what you were paying them for?
Massages, dances, and drink pouring. So there's like girls who just stand there and
Okay.
dance and
Yeah.
pour drinks for
Thorough.
us. It was cool.
That's
Okay.
right.
But I gave them all crypto, and it was fun. And I actually talked to Amanda about that. And I talked to a bunch of people because nobody else was really doing that. Nobody was being a crypto person at this crypto event. They kind of forgot what it was really all about. And I tried to keep the main focus on crypto, and I was the nerdy guy talking to the girls about Bitcoin, and it
Yeah.
wasn't exactly what it seems. I was being very nerdy.
Yeah, the one at 11 didn't seem that bad. Like, I don't even think I saw any, how would I say it, naked boobies, for lack of a better
Oh yeah, you had to
Don't
pay
say
for
that.
that.
I mean, maybe they had it there. I just didn't see it. But yeah, so I guess this one at Consensus, I think it's put on by Jamie King or something like that, who I don't even know who that is. But
Well, yeah, stuff like that's always going to kick up dust and get controversy. It doesn't matter what industry you're
That's
in.
what I'm
You could have been
thinking
in
is-
the car industry, crypto industry, banking industry. It's just controversy, right? It's really
Yeah.
good press. That's what
It's
it's really
bad
all
press.
about. That's how do we do something to get more press? We do something controversial.
it's the
Let's
kind
do a show.
the kind of press that Kenny likes. I'm not surprised there. So I'm what is next for you conference wise? Are there any ones coming up that you're planning on going to, or are you going to take? it easy?
Yeah, which is really cool because I actually just met the Crypto CoinCon Crypto Coin
Crypto
Con, guys,
Coin Con.
at this
is that for the Vegas?
Wizard World
the
in
Vegas.
Philly?
I think Vegas.
And I was actually at Wizard World in Philly the other day giving crypto to the vendors for comic books and for some of the girls and guys that charge for pictures in cosplay. I was giving them some crypto as well to take pictures with them. And they were all Edge wallets. So it's pretty cool. But these guys are doing a conference, 8/18. It's on a Saturday. And I heard Tiffany Hayden's going to be there to talk. So they asked me to come talk, and it looks like I'll be doing some kind of crypto presentation in August at this Crypto Coin Con. Tomorrow I will be at the Crypto Shit Show. That is the name. So you can just Google Crypto Shit Show. It pops up. It's #1. It was really great marketing. Its SEO is legit. And tomorrow I'll be trying to give away some crypto to people by asking them questions. So I'll be walking around asking people questions that are crypto related. And if you get the answer right, we'll open up an Edge wallet and we'll get you some crypto. So I'll be giving away some of my money, kind of Ben Stein style, on the floor. And that's tomorrow in Philly, again, the Crypto Shit Show. And then August in Philly, where there's the Crypto Coin Con. And I'm in talks right now with guys that are putting something on in a couple months in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And it's looking like it's probably going to be the event of the year. Besides the World Crypto Con in Las Vegas on October 31st to November 2nd, which November 1st is my birthday. So Maverick, Captain, you guys got to come to Vegas. World Crypto Con, November 1st. It's my birthday. It's in Las Vegas. It's a recreational state, so I get to party on my 30th birthday with all my crypto friends. And it's going to be at a crypto conference, a 3-day crypto conference.
All right, I'm there. I'm in.
Extravaganza.
Yeah.
So I got a lot coming up, guys.
I'm going no matter
what I just said. I just got to keep it short.
Yeah, it sounds like you got a lot. Well, the good thing is Vegas is obviously a lot closer to us, so it's a lot more likely that we'll go, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, Kenny, so it sounds like you are obviously a fan of Bitcoin and Dash. So what other sorts of investments do you have that you mind telling us about?
Or products too, as I know you try out a lot of things like Edge. What's exciting right now?
Well, my favorite hardware wallets, I tried them all. I actually like the Ledger Blue. It's a little pricey as hell,
Kenny,
but it's just the same user interface as using like a smartphone. I really like all of that. I like the whole on-screen touchscreen display of the Ledger Blue. But for something simple, keep it open dime. It's like the piggy bank of crypto. I tell everybody it's a crypto piggy bank. I give them out all the time to my friends and family. Just say, hey, hang on to it. Crack the seal if you need to get any money. It's in case of emergency stuff. So I like open dime a lot. Some of the investment stuff though, like I haven't invested heavily in any of these things, but I do believe in them heavily.
Right.
Civic by Vinny Leon, the identity on the blockchain. I used the Civic app to conceal my identity from my name, my sex, my race, religion, all of that was concealed. And it only allowed the machine or the person on the other end to know my age to verify that I was old enough for alcohol. And I just saw the use case and I talked to Vinny about it. And I love Civic and I like the Opskins guys. They have Wax. It's a way to trade in-game content. So Opskins has been doing this forever where you could buy a gun or a car or whatever in-game material and you could do it with fiat or PayPal, but they've had issues because of, faking or chargebacks, stuff like that. So utilizing blockchain, they created wax.io and now they're basically doing the same thing they've been doing forever, just utilizing blockchain. So I like what they're doing. There's a couple projects that are really kicking butt right now, but it's not something that I'm saying like let's invest in. I'm saying like let's utilize it. You know what I mean? Like I want to use these things. Exactly. Doesn't necessarily mean I have to throw thousands of dollars at it. I just want it to be something as an end user I get to utilize to increase the quality of my life.
Right.
And right now there's just like basic attention token and they're partnered with the Dow Jones right now for a opt-in advertising platform. So instead of picking an ad blocker, you will select an ad provider, and because you're watching ads, you make cryptocurrency, basic attention token. I really like what these blockchains are doing with the institutional traditional things and moving it forward. It's that evolutionary step that I keep seeing these things take. And Civics, Wax, BAT, Steam It, all these things are those things.
Yeah, it's funny because you mentioned a lot of the ones that I'm becoming more and more interested in because we're both kind of in the blogging space. And when you have like YouTube can shut you down, Twitter can suspend you, you have all these problems with all these platforms, but stuff like Steam and even EOS is coming out with a lot of Steam similar stuff. So there's, like you said, these are things that will actually help empower us as content creators. So that's kind of a big thing. I actually read the white paper for Basic Attention Token this last weekend, and I was very impressed by it. Yeah, I was in Vegas. At a
it's by the guy who invented Java, right?
I mean, JavaScript.
Impressed.
Yeah, and he's
Mozilla and Firefox, and now Basic Attention Token. The dude is an impressive person.
He's a monster.
Basic.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be buying some up. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm curious, do you have you looked into EOS at all? Are you?
Oh yeah, for sure. And please, guys, make sure you register your EOS. It's super easy on Exodus. Just send it there. Please don't leave it on an exchange. It's not worth the risks. I wouldn't leave it on Binance, even though Binance said they'll register it for you. I use Exodus. I already registered them. It's like 2 clicks. Register. Are you sure? Yes. Registered. And I believe we have till like the 1st till that 15-day lockup. So please, guys, I think 60% of all EOS are unregistered. We need to get the word out and get those 60% to register, so no funds are lost or accidentally frozen or anything like that.
Yeah, I think when it comes, when is it, June 1st, June 3rd, I'm going to be
I think it's the 1st, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm probably going to be checking. Can you even check the price if the tokens are worthless at that point, and then the mainnet hasn't quite
because of the freeze,
yet?
I don't think anyone's going to be looking for about a week or two. I heard like that's where it's really going to come down, and that may be the problem, because people are thinking, oh, if I don't register them, I can dump them right before. But you got to be careful, because it's going from one blockchain to a totally different, its own blockchain. You may be not able to dump those coins because nobody will buy them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little nervous during that time period. You're just
if you didn't invest any money, you couldn't. Don't invest money you're ever emotional about, and you'll never get that feeling. So
there we go.
My advice is take a little bit of look at what you put in, pull out whatever you need to get peace of mind, because you really can't buy that back, and just leave whatever you don't get that gut wrenching feeling. And that's the best advice ever. Like if you put money in there you don't care about, you're good. Just don't get emotional with the money you put in.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me, there's been, I don't mean to poke fun at Vitalik, but there was something like a while ago where he made a joke. He's like, oh, yeah, Ethereum 2.0. Oh, we call that EOS. Ha, 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 ha. So there's this video of him saying that, and it's a joke, and everyone's like, wait, is this a joke, or is he like actually nervous? And then I guess recently, this last week, he made a post on Twitter where he's like, oh, Google wants me to like work from. Should I do it? Everyone's like, what the fuck? Like, you created Ethereum. Like, why would Google? Like, what? So I think
he's trolling.
I think people, I hope so. I think people who are invested in Ethereum are probably very nervous right now.
Yeah, I mean, everybody should be a little nervous. This is still highly skeptical. It's all speculation. The institutional money, though, is coming in. That's without a doubt. $3,000 per ticket at consensus with 8,500 people showing up is proof in the pudding that there's institutional capital waiting to come in. I think their real fear is hyperinflating. They have too much money to invest at once, and they don't want to make it so their second investment is half of what their first investment got them, because they hyperinflated the product. They have to figure out, how do they get hundreds of millions of dollars into this, industry without it affecting their bottom line. If they put in too much too fast, the next time they go to buy, they're only buying at the premium they actually caused. So I think it's a deeper issue than what people think. I don't think they're really worried about regulations or taxes. What I really think it comes down to is they don't know how to get the money in fast enough the right way. Yeah. It's too like, they don't want to be the person that makes the first guy richer, right? Like me, I got into Bitcoin before the banks did, right? You guys did too. So now that the banks are getting in, they're gonna, if they do something wrong, they're gonna give the people more power than the banks could ever buy. And I think that's what it's coming down to. They don't want to cause that paradigm shift that is inevitably coming down the hill, just like the steam engine did back in the day, just like the printing press did back in the day. Blockchain is doing it again, and it's right here in front of our eyes, but nobody's seeing it, not until it's in the history books, and it's already too late. Mass adoption has already happened. That's the real question, right? When Lambo, when Moon? when mass adoption.
That's what I was just about to ask you, like, because the price obviously has been hampered down just for crypto in general, for the most part for the last half year. Do you think? I mean, no one knows the future, but when do you think you see this starting to recover and march back upward? Because there have been a couple times where we thought it was starting to, and that it would false start and head back to 8,000 for Bitcoin. You know.
Right. Well, we have a lot of people that were invested really early that just have to take opportunity to pull out, profits. A lot of these, early investors, early enthusiasts of Bitcoin, they have a lot of Bitcoin. So they have a responsibility to, diversify and to, hedge their bets, so to speak. So you probably have a lot of these as Bitcoin's going up, a lot of these older guys. Plus we have the Mt. Gox trustee selling. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration with the price going down, which has nothing to do with the tech, because the tech keeps going up. The tech keeps getting better. The price just keeps going down because people don't understand exactly how hodling works. I feel like they're gonna see next year on their taxes that they should have just hodled. But I don't know, man. I think that when we see Bitcoin accepted, or crypto in general, just crypto accepted at small mom and pop shops, the vendors that really got Visa to the point where Visa is and uses that, to strangle down that little guy. That little guy uses Visa to accept payment. They're paying 3 to 5% per transaction just to do business with their customer. There's a lot of Bitcoin point of sale systems that can cut that down to 0.5% to 1%. And if the business really wants, they still get fiat, but they're free from chargebacks. So there's so many businesses out there that could benefit from just the use case of the point of sales end, not just the investment aspect. And then we could talk about institutionals getting into having, nodes on the Lightning Network like Harvard or Goldman Sachs. That way they have the one of the biggest nodes on the Lightning Network, so they can get all the little fees from going through their channel. There's a lot of incentives, but it's just, we're waiting for that thing that got PayPal to where it is, whatever it was that got Venmo into my mom's app drawer. It's just whatever that is. It's a moment or two away from happening. And I think it's us talking about it every day that's going to help.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is probably that it was just unsustainable what we were going through last December. And then, like you said, point of sale stuff is just not quite there yet. We get a lot of people who ask us at Edge, like, oh, are you guys going to do anything for point of sale? And I don't think we have any plans yet. But more and more I'm thinking, gosh, if we could make something easy for the vendors where they don't have to learn too much, right, then that could help a lot. But obviously something like that takes a lot of time to develop. So I guess we'll see.
There's a lot of them out there. They're just all a little different in their own way. And that's, it's still a lot. I mean, if you go to any business, there's hundreds of different point of sale systems. So there's room for everybody to do that. I mean, if somebody out there has a point of sale system, they should implement cryptocurrencies directly, just because it's, what point of sales really comes down to is accepting the currency, right, and inventory process. So you can make sure you have inventory going out, keep track. It's just not money coming in like you would on a regular Bitcoin wallet. So I feel like it's just going to happen. I mean, PayPal just started happening, right? Like if you go to any of these little shops down on like the boardwalk or, little small town pop-up cafes or the pop-up bars, they all accept PayPal or Square. And now Square's Cash App has been doing Bitcoin. So yeah, it's getting there. We're getting there. I don't think the price has anything to do with it. I'm not too worried about it. Like every time Bitcoin goes down, I try to find a way to make, a little bit more fiat or to earn more Bitcoin, more incentivized to get more crypto as it's going down, because my time is worth more Bitcoin. I get more Satoshis for my efforts. Yep. And I do believe that will, as it has throughout the past 3 years, the next 3 years, benefit just as greatly.
Yeah, so I guess that is a relevant topic, because you are a podcaster, you're a blogger, I guess you could say. So when you look at possibilities for monetization as a blogger, like where do you see the most opportunity? Because on YouTube, you have to be really big to make a good amount of money, or you have to get to the point where you can have people manually give you donations, right? That's like an option. But you have to get worried about getting suspended or kicked off of YouTube.
I'm currently suspended right now.
Yeah, it's and I got like on Twitter, I got suspended. I don't even know why. They don't even like really tell you why a lot of the time. So it's like what the hell?
What is this, Nazi Germany?
For real, man. That's what it feels like. And,
Well, I mean, come on, guys, be realistic. You know, we're all hypocrites, right? If we're using YouTube, we're talking about decentralization, unconfiscatable, immutable, you know, censorship resistance, all these words that are exactly the opposite of every platform we are talking about these things on. Literally, it's not in the best interest for those platforms to allow us to talk about the things we're talking about. If they control the soapbox, they control the content, right? They can bleep out the words that just makes it sound like we're crazy rhetorics. You know, they can delete one post and make the other post irrelevant, and now you sound crazy because they control the conversation. We're on a censored platform talking about censorship resistance, unconfiscatable when they confiscate our data and our material and our content. It's just hypocritical. So I think we need to support those things like Steemit, DTube, DLive, and those other decentralized platforms that, you know, really just are the things we're preaching about. Where
Ken, what do you like best out of those three that you mentioned?
I don't really like Steemit all that much myself.
Yeah,
because
why?
It is a little sensory. You can get a whale to downvote somebody if you're on Steemit talking about how shitty Steemit is. They're going to downvote you and it will be gone. So it is agenda censored. And in my opinion, I think Steemit is a little bit of a popularity pyramid scheme. Like if I'm really popular, you're incentivized to upvote.
It's definitely part of the dynamic.
What I say, I could post a picture of me picking my nose, but because I'm popular, if you're the first couple people to upvote and resteam, you're going to earn some more money than you invested that earlier because of the newer people coming in doing the upvote resteam. So I do see all of that, but those are the steps that we have to take. Like we have to go from that YouTube to the Steemit to that whatever Dan makes on EOS, because you better believe we will keep progressing.
Yeah, I think it's something where as soon as they start coming out with the like newer platforms on EOS, I mean, it's probably going to be like a gold rush. People are going to jump in as quickly as they can, get as many followers as they can. You just hope it's a good improvement over Steam, because some of the Steam stuff is good, but I notice it becomes quite a bit of an echo chamber, kind of like you said. People post comments or post content that is relevant to the most amount of people, so they'll be like, they'll write an essay about how great Steam is. It's like, okay, guys, like this is not helpful at all.
Yeah, it's a crypto circle jerk, man. We have to stop, you know, overhyping things and just be realistic. Like I can like Steemit and also be realistic about what it really is. And it's just that my space of whatever the next thing is that will be the Facebook of this decentralized. If who knows, Mark Zuckerberg said at the beginning of this year, he was looking at blockchain to utilize it in some way. Hopefully it's in the best interests and not in some way to super monetize our data against our will. But we'll find out.
Yeah, how funny is that? It's like almost every social media platform is like, oh, sorry, we're banning any cryptocurrency related ads. And then a month later, it's like, hey, they're looking to roll out their own cryptocurrency.
Did you see what was happening though, man? I feel like what they're doing is just trying to get people to forget that they helped them invest in BitConnect. Like BitConnect was all over Facebook. It was all over Twitter. It was all over YouTube.
Yep.
And that is what I think they don't want to have a BitConnect 2.0. They were YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, when I say they, were allowing people to advertise on their platform to scam people directly. And that's really what it comes down to. I feel like that ruined it for the rest of us. And I feel like they should feel more responsible than just banning all crypto-related ads.
Yeah.
I'm sure Facebook had some kind of referral link. We all know CoinMarketCap had a referral link. They were #1 referral. I wonder what they did with all that money, man. They could have, you know, opened an orphanage or paid back some people that, you know, they misled into doing it. It did say risk-free on the CoinMarketCap banner. So I'm just saying, like, we have to think about all these websites that they may, again, like you said, they may have a hidden agenda where they're like, oh, now we're going to get into this. I think Jack from Twitter owns Square, right? Yeah. And they're getting into crypto heavily. I think it's just a coincidence.
Ken, I think you are actually in a great position to help a lot of people that are new to the space, because you're on the ground and you're really working with the, you know, the average guy and gal, you know, setting up wallets, you know, just telling them what, you know, what to look out for, what is a scammer, who is a scammer, kind of the history and stuff like that. I really like, I know it was dramatic, but I really like what you did at Consensus with that, because I've literally met that guy a couple times.
I
and
got
had
scammy vibes. From
100%. He had there's no way he had any technical expertise. He couldn't really get past me in terms of talking about his product, which I'm not a computer scientist or anything like that. But I do, I do understand some things, and he definitely had no understanding of the tech and was pumping some project that he was actually trying to get into our wallet, by the way.
Cracking jokes because they're like, oh, 90% of the people at Consensus are scammers. And I was like, yeah, but name one other person that was calling them out. Like, I'll wait.
Yeah.
If there's known scammers, we should highlight that. And there should be some kind of Yelp for this that keeps those people out of these events. It's not fair that this guy can scam people out of millions of dollars and buy a $3,000 ticket on somebody else's dime to just scam more people.
Yeah, you're not afraid of confrontation, and a lot of people are. Even if they know someone's a scammer, they feel uncomfortable. Being.
I'm from Philly, man. We don't get uncomfortable.
I feel it. I feel it. I need to visit Philly, by the way. Are you going to
come on? There's the shit show tomorrow, honestly, and there's another conference, the Crypto Coin Con. That's going to be in August. There's a bunch of things going down in Philly, man. Come on down.
I need to go to what is it, Geno's?
No, that's
the wrong one.
That is tourist trap, bro.
See, that's exactly why. This is why I need you, Ken.
Damn.
Yeah, I need you to show me around the city. You're never even gonna go near that crap.
Okay, what's the place I need to go?
Oh, I got you.
Okay, all right. We'll keep it on the.
If I say something, then it becomes that crap. You know what I mean?
It gets washed out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think here. Yeah. So
I got another question.
Go ahead.
Since we both work at Edge, and I know you love our product, but I want to talk about I guess maybe what you would like to see.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be super. It could be maybe you want some visuals or what we need to improve on for.
I want to message. I want to be able to message somebody.
The app.
Yeah, so I can be like, I can create a contact and have their addresses like individually saved in the contact. Yeah. That way I can send them a message and be like, hey, how much was that beer last night through the Edge app? And that way they can just reply and I can just say, send this to this contact. So even if I could just make a nickname for somebody, give that nickname and address, and then be able to message them through like that process. Okay. I think that's like kind of the thing I would like to see. I think that's what everybody's expecting Facebook Messenger to be, but I highly doubt they're going to build in a wallet.
Yeah, it would be a challenge. For them
that'd be very.
No, they're not going to be legally able to figure out how to make money doing it.
I mean, they could do it if they're holding the money, but then that makes them like Coinbase 3.0.
Yeah. Nobody's. I mean, look at the love Coinbase is getting lately.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, a lot of people have asked for something like that.
Uphold.
A way to message.
Go to Uphold, guys.
Okay. I've been seeing them.
What is Uphold?
I don't even know, but I've seen that. I don't know.
I get my direct deposit through Uphold. I get paid in Dash. So if somebody wants to pay me in cash through a bank, I can give them my Uphold bank account and I get paid in Dash.
Interesting. Okay,
so my money never goes to a bank, and my money is never fractionally reserved, lended out. It's like they don't even get a chance.
I like the vocabulary.
To use me.
Yeah. So what else? What else do you want? I know a lot of people want currencies. They're like, oh, I like this currency, that currency, which we're working on it.
Bitcoin's fine for me.
Yeah,
Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dash.
Yeah.
I mean, all the currencies I feel like need to be there are there. I mean, you have every single ERC20 token. That's really important. Yep. I mean, I've been using Spank Chain's website a lot, and it's nice to have Spank on my Edge wallet that I can send to the site so I can donate to the girls.
How's that been working? Sending Spank in and out.
Easy. I like it.
It's just working how it should be.
So what are they? So what girls are we talking about? Are these like cam girls, or are these girls that work for the project?
Adult entertainers, sex workers, cam girls on the Spank Chain platform.
Let's talk about that. Yeah. So what has been the adoption with cam girls, and what are they accepting? Has there been a big explosion in cryptocurrency
the process? If they have centralized payment processors, they've all been affected. I mean, PayPal robs girls left and right of their money, but they really like to take their time, wait for the girls to accumulate value, and then PayPal freezes the account, says, we noticed you were using something against our terms and services. A little bit like how Coinbase will do it if you use like certain mining sites or gambling sites. Right. So you can get your assets frozen if this is your profession. Or there's a lot of money taken off the top. Like traditional platforms for these sex workers steal 50% of the revenue. And for these tokens that the guys buy, they're marked up a lot. Like there's a cut already off the top. So the girls are already maybe making 60% less. So they, if they understand that the micropayment channel that is crypto is very beneficial for their business model, because they're talking to guys that give them $1 every other here and there, or, a couple bucks, maybe some change. And that doesn't work with PayPal or whatever.
So basically, you're saying
crypto.
PayPal is their pimp taking off.
It is a pimp. It
right?
is. And now PayPal really stuck a foot in their mouth, because they wanted every customer to go through KYC. And there was a lot of men and women that were using that platform to synonymously do, transactions in that industry that no longer can or no longer feel comfortable. And PayPal has also raised their rates astronomically from last year, this year. So that really echoes through that community, where I'm like, hey, girls, open an Edge wallet. I'll send you some Dash. Look how much it cost me to send you $1. Yeah. And I send a couple dollars, like, $1, just make it rain. And they get it because it doesn't cost anything. And they get the whole dollar. They don't get 40 cents on the dollar. It's, it just makes sense to them. And they're used to tokens, right? All these platforms utilize token technology. They're just digital tokens, not cryptocurrencies. So they don't really move up in value for the guys that hold them. So there's a lot that goes hand in hand. And if you really look back far enough, the adult entertainment industry has really bootstrapped every technology to where it is 100%. Today. All of them.
Sex,
I'm pretty sure the football camera that is A to B on the very top line, that was invented by the adult entertainment industry for above sex video photography. And the NFL actually adopted it after the adult industry. The adult industry is fueling virtual reality and augmented reality technology more than any industry, period. I mean, I think they're going to do the same for crypto.
Just think about human beings are sexual, right? And especially guys, we're horny all the time. So, I mean, and porn and sex in general is a leading indicator of what's to come, right?
Yeah, and the next industry is the recreational marijuana and cannabis industries. Yep. Those taboo industries, gambling and all of that.
So,
Ken, I was talking to Max Kaiser at one of his events the other day, and it was like, what are they going to do? How's the government going to really attack crypto? And he was like, well, they could legalize sex and drugs and everything else, and really, that wouldn't be a reason to use Bitcoin anymore. So I was like, "Damn, that's a good point."
What are these sex workers? What's the most popular coin right now that they're taking?
ETH, because of the Spank chain being built on the ETH, and I would think Dash might be number 2, since I've been all over Twitter dropping Dash bombs. These girls post pictures on Twitter. It's on my feed, and I'm just like, hey, thanks for the entertainment. Open a Dash wallet. I'll send you $1 or $2. Appreciate you keeping my feed awesome.
Hello.
Yeah, what's funny is with Spank Chain, I feel like I don't know if this is for sure true, but I feel like they really like our wallet because they can add any custom ERC20 token. So a lot of Spank Chain people, like, they rep our wallet. They rep the Edge wallet, like they love it.
That's awesome, man. That's a small world. I got to meet all those guys in LA when I was crashing with Omar, and they're good dudes, and they're genuinely interested in helping the industry. And it's not just the girls, it's the guys. Like, there's a lot of, or not just the guys, the transsexuals, the different, it's just, there's such
a wide range.
Yes, exactly. And they're there to help. It's not like they're just there to figure out how can we make money off these people. It's like, how can we help these people make money? I was like, yo, I like the way you guys talk. I got to meet them face to face, and I interviewed the founder, Amin, and just a genuine dude. And all the girls that I talked to from Spank Chain highly respect everybody at the blockchain or at the Spank Chain platform. And you almost never get that in anywhere. Like, go find every employee that likes their employer. Go ahead, in any industry. So it gives me a lot of promise for the blockchain. I'm not heavily invested in the coin, but I do buy it to use it. I use the platform. Not everything has to be a way to make money, guys. It's just a way to make the world a better place,
Yeah, because that's one of those industries where you see like a lot of abuse, a lot of people taking advantage of each other. I will say it is kind of funny when you write something about Spank Chain or whatever, and the people who are upvoting you are like recognizable porn stars.
Kenny Styles was just on my live stream the other day, and I was like, I know that guy.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it is a bit surreal, but that's one of the probably one of the best, what would I say, instances where crypto is actually helping an industry. So it is cool how its fingers reach everywhere. I was just going to ask one last question because I was kind of curious whether or not, do you have any investments that are like in mining at all? Do you do any of that or no?
No, not personally. I don't actually believe in mining at this point. Actually, maybe I should have at the beginning of the year, but I just didn't see a reason in not just buying the asset and buying hardware. It didn't make much sense.
Plus,
but I do see mining make a lot more sense for bigger money, like institutions, right? Why would I buy $100,000 or $1 million worth of this coin when it would hyperinflate my next investment? Why not just buy $1 million worth of mining equipment and keep that perpetual money coming in? So I do see a reason for it institutionally, but personally, for the little guy at this point, just buy the asset, dollar cost average, keep investing in Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever it was that you wanted to mine for.
Right.
Unless you like it as a hobbyist, right? Because like some people go hunting to get deer, to get jerky, and it's not as cheap as just going to the store and buying a bag of jerky. So there is that whole like hobbyist mentality of it, but it's not as profitable, in my opinion, as hodling the coin. And whatever the difference would be in your electric bill, just keep dollar cost averaging into that crypto.
Hey Ken,
that's
question.
Just me.
You're mentioning, hodling and dollar cost averaging. I was wondering if before crypto you were a saver, and if crypto,
not at all, man.
Yeah.
Not even
so
has
crypto made you rethink about money and kind of your behavior? Right?
Oh yeah, completely.
It's not just something.
That's funny because I learned a lot about what I know from Jack Tater. He wrote both. I have these books here actually. Jack Tater wrote this book. It's the first book ever written about Bitcoin, and it's funny because he gets a lot of crap because he called it Bitcoins with an S.
Okay.
I know, right? But Jack Tater wrote this. What's the deal with Bitcoins?
Okay.
And I have his other book up here somewhere.
When was that?
Crypto Assets Guide. But yeah, I learned a lot from him. I met him a couple times in person. He spoke at one of my Bitcoin meetups in Philly when I first got involved. And he sat me down and gave me a talk of a lifetime and changed the way I perceived a lot. And then going down the rabbit hole with that, that footnote that he gave me really helped. So guys, I definitely highly recommend you check out Jack Tater, What's the Deal with Bitcoins, and his other books. And he's really, outspoken on Twitter if you have any questions, but I got to give him the respect because he definitely taught me a lot in a very short amount of time because I didn't do any investing before. The reason I got into crypto is because I wanted to invest in Snapchat, which was in an IPO.
Right.
It was a private investment opportunity thing, and I didn't know that I had to be an accredited investor, so I saved up money. And I was all excited to put the money I saved into this Snapchat thing, and then I found out filling out the forms that I didn't have enough money, or I wasn't part of a brokerage, or I wasn't an accredited investor, and I think it was like 15 cents a share. And then Snapchat launched publicly at like $20 or 20 plus bucks a share, and I looked at the amount of money I could have made. I could have been an accredited investor, but because there was that border to entry, I did not.
Yeah.
And then I kind of looked into other things. My buddy was like, there's no KYC on Poloniex. And I was like, word. So I looked into ICOs, and I got in right after Ethereum launched. And I got lucky because I saw it. It spoke to me. I was literally like, there's no way this won't succeed. It trades 24/7. It never turns off. The market's always alive. There's no KYC, which means a 5-year-old could turn his friggin' lemonade stand money into a mansion if he puts it in the right ICO as a 5-year-old. Yeah. So it's such an even opportunity playing field that a billionaire could invest and turn into a dollar-aire because he did a bad investment, or a dollar can turn into $1 billion because of a good investment. It's fair. And that's why I really went pretty much all in. I didn't even really buy stocks. Yeah. I mean, I bought a couple marijuana stocks when they were pennies. I'm still holding them. But besides the marijuana stocks, that's it. I got all crypto.
Yeah, I think you're on the forefront of a new type of way to live with a new financial system, right? And
we're hard. Both there. I was just talking to somebody about how I live every day with crypto, and it's hard. It's a hustle, though, right? Like if I get paid by you guys for working, like if I'd say, for example, if I worked for Edge and Edge paid me, I'd get paid in crypto, and my landlord wants fiat. So what I would do is, like a hustler, I'd jump out on the street corner, I'd find somebody that wants my crypto, and I sell it at a markup. I make 10% on top of my payment. A lot of people give crap because, like, people like Tone Vase will say he takes, 5% under market value. I go 10% on top of market value, but I'm a hustler, so I got to hustle. I don't really work. So I do that, and it's a job on top of a job. I make money that makes me money, making me money to pay my rent. I make money making money, if that makes any sense.
Totally.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're living the life. Yeah, I will say some of the Bitcoin mining stuff, I've tried my best to find a good opportunity, and it's just hard. When you're in the United States, too, either you try to do a project that's in the U.S., but then there's all these legal issues, or you try to do a project that's like somewhere foreign, and then it's just sketchy, So it's a
or you go with a group of people, right? Like you get 10 friends together, you go get a little thing in a warehouse, and next thing you know, one of the 9 of you disappears.
Yeah, I think the days of being able to pull that off might be over. All right, so let's wrap it up, Kenny. But why don't you tell everyone where they can find more about you? Is your Twitter, YouTube, what major platforms are you on these days?
Ken Bosak or Kenneth Bosak on Twitter. You can find my interviews on pureblockchainwealth.com, their YouTube channel, Pure Blockchain Wealth. I actually just did an interview with the founder of Decred, Marco Pierboom. So I definitely recommend tuning into that. Awesome. Dude, we dug into everything. I don't understand how that interview is not viral. Like, Marco is a genius, and somehow I got all the best questions together for him. And it's one of my favorite interviews, and it's actually one of my most recent. So just go check out Pure Blockchain Wealth. And if you guys need any help, if you're listening and you want to get into the space or just want to shoot the crap, hit me up. Ken Bosak, KENNBOSAK.com, and all my information's up there.
There you go. That's the way to do it. The website's a nice.
By the way, Ken,
place.
that beard is amazing.
Dude, I got to get some oil. I took like 5 hot showers today because I don't feel good, and it's so dry.
I feel you. It happens, but it's worth it.
I keep thinking about dying at Edge Green. I'm not even going to lie, but that'll be another day.
Like St. Patrick's Day or something. All right, Kenny. Well, thanks for coming on, man. We'll probably see you at one of these upcoming conferences. And until then, take care of yourself, bud.
Hey, guys. Have a day, and thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, Ken. Thank you. All right, so for those of you still with us, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, this is your captain and Maverick, wishing you fair winds and following seas, guys. Set sail.
Yo.
Give it a sec.